give us a little, a 2 or 3, 4 minute history lesson of, where we've come in the last 20 years.
Sure. And I can only share, Mark, sort of through a lens, my own lens, which was very exciting in the 1990s, right? With analog cell phones. And I remember I took a class at a university as an older professional, and they had us downloaded off the internet, and I think it was 96. That was sort of a big deal. And I will say this, I became absolutely fascinated with the data center space. I sort of was a conviction long, I'll take the over kind of thinker on it. Virtually everything that ran into software, and 10 years later, Mark Andreessen, I think, coined it perfectly, software is eating the world. And I just kept seeing it over and over again. So I wanted to get into that business. Happened to be in Phoenix working on some radio station deals. And believe it or not, those had like a physical layer, infrastructure, the tower, the network, and came across an opportunity which we ultimately executed against and created 120 East Van Buren, which began life in Phoenix, Arizona as a carrier hotel, and ultimately turned it into an enterprise data center facility, had a lot of big Fortune 200 types, sold that to Digital Realty, immediately started over and built IO. So I guess my story and sort of the industry are in some rough alignment, which was we went from no one needs data centers. What are they? I'm happy to lend you money at, LIBOR plus 1,200. Would be delighted to be a sort of a pricey mezz lender to you. All the way down to where we're at today. Before we sold, we were working on a very low single-digit asset-backed sort of investment grade deal. And so for me, and we've discussed this a bunch, it's always hard for me to separate what's going on at the physical layer of the internet from what's going on with the funding of what's going on at the physical layer of the internet. And I think that's a story I've continued to really pay a lot of attention to. And I can sort of tell you what is or isn't going to work and who is or isn't likely to pursue a given strategy often, not always, if I take a hard look at their both source of capital and the expectations that capital has. So I don't know if that answers it, but what I've seen is, I don't know, you tell me, $1 trillion invested at least in the physical layer of the internet. Yep. And yet, as of last summer, we were massively behind the 8 ball and still needed significantly more capacity.